What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Cameron. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. And today we're back out here on the boat, and it is an absolutely gorgeous day on the water. This is one of those days where the weatherman was wrong, but in the wrong direction. It was supposed to be a little more windy, but it's literally blowing like 4 to 5 right now out of the south, and it's glassed off in the bay. So the plan for today is to run out and do some wade fishing in a few new spots, as well as some drift fishing. And then if that doesn't pan out, we're gonna head out to the jetty and see if we can put in some work over there. So y'all stick with it, stay tuned. We'll see you at the first spot. We're gonna enjoy this ride. It's gonna be nice and smooth all the way there, and we should be able to make some good time. We'll see y'all over there. All right, y'all, we are pulling up to the first spot right here. It was a long run down here, like 30-40 minutes, and we were gonna get out and wade farther down, but man, there's a ton of boats out today. So we just kept going down the shoreline a little bit. We pulled into the mouth of this bayou. There was a blow up right there, big old blow up. There's bait coming out of here, lots of bait around it. We're gonna start by throwing the top water. We're in about 3.5 feet of water, so too deep to wade, which is what I wanted to do. But I think there's some fish here. Yeah, there's a ton of bait around here, all around this point, coming out of this bayou, and then going down that shoreline to the left. Make a long cast right into the middle. Blow up. He's chasing it. There he is. Oh, that was a little trout. So we know there's fish in here now, guys. I've gotten blown up on a couple times already. Haven't connected. They could be small, or I could just suck. Probably a little of both. I'm also using single hooks instead of trebles on this top water, but I don't think that really affects much. There he is. Nice fish. Real nice fish. Ooh, boy. Same spot. Dang, what is that? A red? Or no! How? That was such a nice fish. Oh my gosh. It didn't really feel like a trout. It felt more like a red, the way it was digging around. I cannot believe it came off. Next bite I get on this top water, I'm setting the hook so hard, either gonna yank the fish out of the water or just pull his lips off. Another blow up. There you go, trout. Nice, bro. Oh, he came off right there. We should have got the net. That was funny. Well, he was probably right at keeper. It's a good sign though. First fish of the day. We've been here about 10 minutes. Bunch of blow-ups. But they're all missing it. We're probably parked on top of some fish, to be honest. I pulled up a little bit close in here. But it's all right, we're still getting blow-ups out in front of us. Yep, missed it. Bro, Hit it. All right. I'm about to give up on this. I'm blaming the single hooks now. Nolan had one blow up and he caught it. I've had like 20 and they just are not getting hooked. If I miss one more, I'm switching over. I've had so many blow ups, if I would have hooked them all, I would have had my limit. Nope. They're feeding right on this point. There's one right here in front of us and he's hitting it. This is ridiculous. All right, no one wants to throw a paddle tail, so I'm gonna take his top water because it has trebles. And we're gonna get these fish. I already know. If they keep missing that, man, voodoo shrimp, you already know. Okay, first cast with the other top water. This is a bone colored Super Spook Junior, or Spook Junior, I guess. Definitely my favorite top water. They walk the dog perfectly, a very nice side to side action. They have a nice rattle to them, nice beat in them. And this is my favorite color as well. I'll show you all this thing. So whenever we pull up to a new spot like this, I've never fished here before. I'm looking for bait and I'm looking for any sort of current or structure or anything. So we have this little point right here in this channel, obviously, the bayou coming out. And there's a ton of bait around it this morning. And what I like to do is start fan casting the area. So just like I'm doing right now, cast over there, here, 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 until you start finding blow-ups, or until you start getting bites, I should say. Right now, we've gotten the most bites right here, right in front of this point. It's hard to switch over because I know if I was throwing a, there he is. I know if I was throwing a paddle tail, they probably wouldn't be missing as much. Nice trout. But it's so much fun to see him on top water. Oh, come on, stay on. First keeper fish in the boat and he's off. Let's go. Calm down, calm down. Look at that. That is a beautiful, perfect speckled trout right there. About 16.5 inches. Nice 16.5-inch speckled trout. That guy's going in the box. I've missed probably 10 to 12 blow-ups this morning. Nah, it's been more. We've been getting blow up on like every other cast. And finally, this one finally got it. They're just either barely slurping it, that's what those first few did, or they're coming up and smacking the whole top water out of the water and just not getting hooked. That's a nice trout though. Just throw them in and keep on going. One fish on the board here. I know there's gonna be more in here. I see some blow-ups in the canal a little bit, back in the channel some more. Jeez Louise, brother. That was a good bite. There was so much bait over there that got spooked up when he hit. It's a nice fish right here. Yeah, another nice trout. Okay. Yeah, I might need the net. He's not that big, but he's not hooked that good. Thank you, Nolan. Net job. And look, that popped out. I'm glad we got the net. About the same size as the last one. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, about 17. Trout number 2. We're gonna throw this guy in the box and keep on throwing this top water. It's working. The sun is starting to come up, so I would expect they're gonna stop hitting this top water pretty soon. It came off. No, he's on. That feels like a smaller one. Nolan's on too. We're doubled up here. Let's go. I think mine's little too. Yeah, mine's little too. He's off. Okay, good. Quick release. That was an undersize right there. Nolan's got himself an undersize. Man, they're starting to hit the baits better. They're committing to it now. They're feeding instead of just smacking it. It's always a good sign. There he is. That's a small one though. So what I've noticed, guys, is these fish are kind of moving around this point. Oh, a small one. That's a good one. The fish are kind of moving around this point though. At times we're getting blown up in here, and then it will go dead, and we'll cast on the outside and we'll get blown up out here. And basically what I would imagine is that the fish are just following that bait. As the bait's dumping out of this back lake or dumping out of this little bayou, they're following it around. And then when the bait disappears, they move back in, wait for more bait. That's what I'm imagining. I'm completely making that up, but it could be true. It's another like 16. The question is, do I want to keep him, or do I want to throw him back and try to catch a bigger one? Nah, I don't want to be greedy, because I know if I do that, I probably won't catch another one all day. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this guy in the box, and that is our speckled trout limit, y'all. And he's hooked pretty bad in the bottom lip anyways. It'd be wrong of me to throw him back. Nice trout. It's always rewarding finding a new spot and catching some fish. And we just pulled up here. We've been here maybe 20 minutes, and I just caught my limit, and there's a bunch more fish here. So that's just awesome. This has been a great morning already. Let me check the time for you guys. It is 7:59. We pulled up here at around, yeah, like 7:20, 7:30, and it's been on. So we're gonna, oh, Nolan just hooked up, and it looks like a nice one. Oh, it's a nice trout. That'll be close to keeper. Nice. So as you can see, they're still biting. I'm gonna keep on throwing this lure around, have some more fun with them, and then we might move on it a little bit and try to catch some redfish. But it's hard to leave a good bite whenever it's happening, especially because I know there's some bigger fish in here. I got a couple blow-ups, and the fish just immediately started pulling drag and just huge head shakes. So there's probably some good fish in here. We're gonna fish around and see if we can catch some more. Y'all stay tuned. Okay, there's a bunch of bait out here on a little bit outside the bayou. I keep seeing stuff happening, bait going everywhere. So we're gonna see if there's some trout under them. Try getting a little closer to shore here. I see more bait, a little bit closer. Yep, there's a blow up. All right, I pulled it right away from him. There we go. That's a nice one, I think, or he just hit it super hard. Now it feels like a decent fish. No, he hit it really hard. He's not even that big. It's just a normal trout right here. Probably a keeper. I mean, I already got my limit, but that's probably a keeper, but pop these hooks out. Get a release. There's some current coming out of here. Blow up. Come on. Nice one. Oh yeah. There we go. That's a good fish. Oh yeah, he's pulling. That's a better one. Sometimes with this topwater though, they get hooked so goofy that, you know, it's got double trebles on it that they feel big and then they're not. But no, that's a nice fish. We need the net for this one. It's the best one of the day, I think. Close. Sometimes it happens. Came off. No one's on. Looks like a nice one. You need a net. That's a good keeper trout. Yeah. Noel's got himself a nice one here. And check out how much he swallowed that hook. He wanted that bait so bad. They're really starting to eat right now. They're committing to the bait. Good thing that thing's a keeper because he's dead. So if you guys want to know how I'm working this topwater, I'll show y'all real quick, give y'all a demonstration. I'm doing a technique called walking the dog. And all you want to do is just cast out, leave a little bit of slack in your line, not too much, but a little bit. And then you just twitch that rod tip with that slack in there and you slowly reel it in. You can see I'm cranking probably like probably like half a crank. And that's how you do it. Cranking like half a crank for every 3 or 4 pops I'm doing. And that's called walking the dog. And that makes that lure go back and forth and those fish just cannot resist it. It's a little guy. I'm gonna cast back out and I'm gonna show y'all another way to work the topwater. It can be kind of confusing trying to learn how to walk the dog, as they call it. So another good thing you can do, what I did for years, was just go, you still gotta leave that slack in your line, just 1, 2, 3 or 4 twitches, and then reel. Reel at most of that slack. Before I was able to walk the dog, I literally did this for years. And sometimes when you're throwing a spinning rod, it's an easier way to do it. And you'll be surprised how many times those fish hit it on the paws. So there you go. That's 2 easy ways to work a topwater. 2 very productive ways as well. And there's nothing better than seeing those fish blow up out of the water on that topwater. There's a bunch of bait right here in front of me. So I think there's a lot of fish right here. Oh, that's a big fish. That's a nice one. Oh my gosh, that thing smacked it so hard. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one of the day. Oh, stay down. He came off. Drag was loose. That was just unlucky. What I probably should have done is held the rod tip down under the water to keep him under the surface. That was a solid like 18-inch trout. That was a good one. Nice trout. Another good one. Look at him just sitting there thrashing, bro. That has to be a nice one. Yeah, pull and drag. Well, we moved back around side, or onto the outside of the cove here, in the little bayou. We were out here, then we moved back in, caught a few fish in there, and then we moved back out because it died in there. And I've gotten blown up on 4 casts in a row. This guy's hooked in the top of his back. No wonder he's fighting so hard. I don't even need a net. Look at that. That's a beautiful trout. Nice one. Jeez, dude. Another nice blow up there. That was a really good blow up. Whoa, off the other side of the boat. Okay, this is a joke. There we go. I believe that makes like my second limit I've caught, probably more. It's another beautiful keeper right here. I think we've caught plenty of fish out of this spot, so we're gonna go ahead and make a move, maybe go look for some redfish or some drum or something, but it's already been a killer morning and a good day out here on the water. Just happy to be here. Let's pop that hook out, go try to catch something else. Okay guys, we just pulled up at the jetty, doing what I always love to do, which is throw voodoo shrimp out here against the rocks. So I have a 3.25, 3¼ inch voodoo shrimp, natural color. By far my favorite one. And all I'm doing, I showed you all this a few videos ago, but cast out up next to the rocks pretty close. Let it sink 3-4 seconds and give it little pops. Oh, there was a bite right there. A little pop, let it sink, little pops. And usually they're gonna hit it on the fall. This is a great way to catch some trout out here, as well as really anything that swims will eat a voodoo shrimp. Got drum, reds, pompano, sheep's head. So we're gonna fish out here for a little while. We can't keep any more trout. We have a 2-man limit, but we can certainly catch some big ones, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some big, you know, close to 25-inch trout would be awesome. Just catching them for fun. I'm sorry I'm missing the bites here, y'all. I only brought one camera battery and my camera's on 15% because I ran it for a couple hours this morning straight. Well, that's another beautiful trout. That's the biggest one of the day. Beat the first one. Look at that. That's a solid 18, 19-inch trout. Beautiful trout right there. Bigger than all the ones we have in the box. It's crazy, man. The bite is insane right now. There we go. Nolan's on. Yes, sir. Whoa, I'm on too. We're doubled up. Man, it's a hot bite, yo. Oh, I got a nice one. Nolan seems to have a nice one too. It's holding down. Oh, Nolan's got a hard head, man. I'm telling you, those hard heads love it. Look at this though. Back-to-back cast. Actually, that's my third cast in a row with the bite because I broke off on that one. Damn, that's a long fish, and that's a male. You can hear them grunting. The females do not grunt. Look at that. They want this bait today. Insane. Beautiful trout. This guy's unhooked. That's one of the longest male trout I've seen in a while. He's gone. Okay, let's go back out. We were going to just fish this spot for a couple casts. And then we were going to run down the jetty to where it's calmer because it's pretty choppy right here. We're going to fish those more protected waters and shallower waters. But you cannot leave a bite like this. There he is, another one. Another trout. Another keeper. Jeez, guys. I'm on a kill streak right here. Hey, he's off. Quick release. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. No need to waste time unhooking them. They're off the rocks a little bit. I'm catching them like 10 yards off the rocks. There's another one. That's a nice one. That's a real nice one. That feels like a big trout. Where I haven't seen him yet. He's over 20. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, thank you. Look at that, you guys. That is a beautiful trout right there. He is easily over 20. Yeah, look at that. 22.5 inches. All right, release on this guy. Boom. And they are tearing this voodoo up. Oh my gosh, it's a big trout, bro. I wasn't even recording. I wasn't even recording because I thought this was a little fish and it did not feel like a trout. Hold on, he's not ready. It barely fought until it got right under the boat, and then it swam straight down. Like it kept feeling like it was a sheep's head or something. Mumbo jumbo. That's a big trout. People are gonna say, that's not a big trout. You don't know what big trout are. Let's get a release on this big girl. Gotta catch some more. Another one here. This guy slammed it. This is like a beautiful speckled trout. Look at that. These are just quality fish. I mean, that's close to a 20-inch right there. This is like the best day of jetty fishing I've had. I mean, we've been here about 30 minutes and caught like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 nice trout. A few pretty decent ones. It's going crazy. Well, we're back at the house now. I forgot to end the video yesterday, but basically what happened is that we ended up going like 5 for 5 on hardheads on lures, so we decided it was time to head home. So we got our 3 speckled trout right here, and I'm going to show you guys how to clean these up. I've showed it 100 times, including probably the last video or the last 2 videos. But if you're new here, I'll go ahead and show you how to do it. Take the fish, take your knife, go right behind the head at an angle, down like that to the backbone. And you're going to turn this knife and come sideways. And you're going to come up and over the air bladder, which is this little white thing right here. And once you get over that, it's real simple. I'm still stuck in it. Yep. There we go. There we go. Beautiful speckled trout fillet. Roll it over, do the same thing on the other side. Cut behind the head. And then I like to go from the tail forward. I'm sorry if the audio is a little bad right now, guys. I misplaced my microphone yesterday, so I didn't have it on the boat, and I don't have it right now. I'm gonna find it though. There we go. 2 beautiful speckled trout fillets. We'll see you on the kitchen to cook something up. So we've got our fish right here. As you can see, I've got something a little bit different. Today, I've got the trout carcasses, and I also have 1 fillet on the side. But we're gonna be doing a recipe that I've never done before. That's gonna be including this secret mixture right here. I'll show you what this is. That is actually Zatarain's crab cake mix. So I really like fish cakes. I love crab cakes as well. And I figured we're gonna try to utilize these carcasses instead of just throwing them away. And we're gonna use the meat that we get out of there to make fish cakes or crab cakes with the crab cake mix. So if you don't know, whenever you fillet a fish, you knock the meat off both sides, but you're usually left with quite a bit right here in between the bones, because there's a bunch of bones that run diagonal down through it, but in between them there's chunks of meat. So a lot of people use this to make fish stock or fish soup. I'm not a fish soup person at all. With that being said, the first thing we gotta do is cook the fish, however. So I am going to be boiling this fish. You could bake it, you could grill it, you can do whatever you want. We're just gonna be boiling it, but I am going to be doing something a little bit different that'll help it taste like crab. All right, so first we're gonna go in with some crab boil. This is just gonna give that meat a little more flavor. You don't even have to do this. I just think it'll be good. I'm not using too much. And then the secret, you guys, sugar. We're basically gonna be boiling these in sugar water. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of like poor man's crab, poor man's lobster. I've done this before in a previous video a few years ago where I took sheep's head and I boiled it in sugar water and it tasted just like crab. Now, sheep's head already kind of tastes like crab anyway, but it just makes it a real sweet meat and it kind of firms up that meat and it gets that crab texture as well. So we're gonna add some sugar in here. Oh, I don't know, just a little bit. Yeah, that's probably enough. Then we're gonna boil our fish for about 10 minutes in that, and hopefully it comes out super sweet and in nice chunks. All right. I don't know if these are going to fit all the way down, so I'm going to crack them in half. And of course, that's going to drop the temperature of our water because we're putting in these cold fish. And the only reason I'm even putting this in, this fillet, is just because I don't know how much meat I'm going to get from in between these bones. I've never done this, so I don't know how much meat there really is. I just know that I see a lot of people that do this on bigger fish, like on grouper or whatever. Obviously, that's a way bigger fish with way bigger bones, so way more area in between the bones. So I just wanted to add that in there just so we have enough. And then, like I said, we are going to be taking this meat and making those crab cakes with it. I think it's going to be super good. Okay, I assume that our fish is done. I think it's been probably around 10 minutes. Go ahead and take it out. Oh, okay. Just fell apart. Oh, okay, it's all falling apart. We'll get what we can. I might have to use a strainer and just dump this in there. That fish is definitely cooked. Look at that, that one stayed together. It doesn't look too appetizing now, but I think it will whenever we turn it into a fish cake or into a crab cake. Definitely gonna have to get the strainer for the chunks that are in here. So while that's cooling down, we're gonna go ahead and add everything else to the crab cake. So all this calls for is, of course, the mix, which smells super good. And then we need 1 egg. And 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, which seems like an absurd amount of mayonnaise, but I guarantee it's gonna be delicious. There we go. And then this calls for 1 pound of crab meat or whatever type of meat, you know. I don't know if we have a pound, but I think we're gonna have enough. The less meat you have, the more breading you're gonna have, obviously, the more mixture there's gonna be in between meat, but the flavor is still gonna be the same. So I'm gonna mix this together and then we'll add that fish in once it cools. The fish is cooled down. It's time to start picking it apart here. So obviously we're gonna have a lot of little bones on the back, but what I imagine is that we can just kind of run right here and knock some meat out. Make a pile with it. And I will say, I can already tell this meat did not firm up as much as I wanted it to. Trout is kind of a soft meat anyways. I said earlier that I've done this before with sheep's head, and whenever I did the sheep's head, it got so firm. Like, it seriously was just like crab meat. So the only thing I'm worried about is that this is gonna be kind of mushy when I mix it in. And at least in my opinion, one of my favorite parts about a crab cake is the big pieces of meat in it, and the texture is super good. So we'll see. Obviously, it's not gonna be identical to a crab cake because it's fish, but as long as it's decently close, I'll be happy. Okay, so I have all of my fish picked right here. Check this out, we actually got a pretty good amount, and this is what 1 fillet looks like compared to the fish from the carcass. So I'm gonna weigh it just because I'm interested in seeing how much we actually got. So we'll zero out our scale, and then quite a bit of fish. You can come over here and look if you want, or you can just hang it over. We got 5 ounces. I honestly kind of wish that I never would have done this, because now I'm gonna feel guilty every time I clean a fish and I don't pick the carcass. That is actually way more meat than I expected. Compared to 1 fillet right here is 2.8 ounces. So we basically got 2 full fillets of meat, or a little bit less, but that's a ton of fish just from in between the bones that pretty much everyone throws away. Now before I add this in, I am gonna go ahead and give it a taste, and we're gonna see if it has that good crab flavor. Yeah, it really does. There's no fishy taste there whatsoever, like you would expect from boiled fish, so actually pretty good. We'll go ahead and dump this in. We have, this would be just over 1/2 pound of meat, when the recipe calls for 1 pound. Like I thought, it's gonna be a little bit less, but now all you do is you wanna fold it in, and you just want to lightly fold it. If you stir it too hard, you're going to break all that meat up way too much, more than it already is. And I guess I'm about 5 seconds late on this, but I guess I should have taken out half that mixture. We're going to have way too much breading, not enough meat, but that's okay. All right, next thing we got to do is form our crab cake. So I'm just going to grab a handful. You got to use your hands for this. There's no way around it. And I imagine they need to be about that big. Look at that. And my fingers look greasy to you. It's because I added in a couple tablespoons of melted butter because it honestly felt way too dry. Like I did not think I was going to be able to form this into a patty. And I'm glad I did, because even with that butter, it's still barely forming. But check that out. That's about what we're going for. You can see all the fish in there mixed in. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and finish off all this mixture, make a whole bunch of these cakes, and then we got to set them in the fridge. It says 30 minutes. It's already kind of cool, so we'll set it in there, 10, 15 minutes while we get some oil heating up, and then we're just gonna do a shallow pan fry to get some color on our cakes here. See you in just a few minutes. We're gonna go ahead and lay these in. They've been chilling for about 20 minutes. The oil's hot. We're just doing a shallow fry. Might need to turn, oh dang! Put my finger down in the oil. That was hot. Might need to turn it up just a little bit. Now the good thing is this fish is already cooked, obviously. So we're just trying to get some color on the outside. Shouldn't take long, probably about 2 minutes per side. And then we're gonna be able to try them out. Y'all take a look at these beautiful looking crab cakes, or fish cakes, I should say. Some of them did fall apart a little bit, but that's just part of it. It's a learning curve here. And basically the only difference between this and my normal fish cakes is that crab cake mix. So we're gonna go ahead and try them out. I did make a thickened butter. There's a bunch of different sauces you can use for these. A mustard sauce would be good, or maybe even like a hollandaise sauce, but we just made a little thickened butter here. I'm gonna drizzle it on top of them. All right, now it's time to taste them out, or test them out, I should say. But y'all take one last look at it. They look delicious. Look at that. Got a couple nice good chunks of fish in here. Quite a lot of breading, obviously, because we use half the amount of meat that you're supposed to. It's gonna be a big old bite. I'm ready to do it. Let's go for it. Honestly, that is amazing. It tastes identical to a crab cake, no fish flavor. If I served you this, you would not know it was trout. You'd think it was a crab cake. I can't recommend this enough. You guys have got to try this out. So I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're not already. If you are, like always, guys, I thank you so very much. We had an amazing day out there on the water. Truly blessed to be able to go out there, catch all those fish, and have great weather like that. It was just a great, fun day with a great meal to end it all. So thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.